it's very skeleton. Yeah, and I think, I mean, I'm no like, I don't know classical theory and all that, so it might be really dodgy. It actually is pretty dodgy, but it's a bare minimum. It's a sketch, and I like to send these sketches over to people that actually know what they're doing, and they can fix it up and touch it up and give me a couple of constructive advice to doing what and where. I just know the feeling. So a lot of times when I make songs, I don't know theory. I know jack shit about theory. I really have like 0 sense in theory, but I do know by ear, and I know how it should feel, if that makes any sense. So I usually go about how it feels and how like the next moment should sound. I like building up, I like progression, and it has been something that is probably inspired from a lot of my love for movies, musicals, theatre. How about a guitar riff in it? Yeah, I can imagine that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things that progressive music could definitely add to, just because layering is something that I love doing. Somebody says they're from India. Hello, welcome from India. The red ring is so pretty. Thank you. I'm by far not a genius. I would not put myself in that category of a genius, not at all. But I will say, I love expression, whether that be through music, video, whatever, you name it. I do love just the form of art and expression, and my face is turning blush red. That's Ted. But I'm far from being a genius. I just put in a lot of time, and this is all I do. Like if this is all you do in your life, then I'm sure it would come to a caliber of this. But yeah, it's something that I just love doing, and I love making it for you guys. So as said, today is going to be a special live, just because it's something that I feel like I don't really get the time, and I don't really get the moments to be able to share it with you guys enough. So I do want to take this moment out and just kind of share with you my process, especially like if people were asking, like what about Mido? Like where was the inspiration for that? And honestly, it's real life. Like people that come across me for the first time, they don't really understand sometimes that the things that they see and the things that I share for them to see are a real part of my life. Sometimes it's just not a concept, but it's absolutely fine when people conceptualize it, because how will they have any idea of knowing if that was related commonly and to an extent of like a reality of mine. The whole aim, I want people to understand the whole aim of why I do art and why I express it and why it's so closely touched upon with my reality. It's not for them to take it as my reality, but it's more for them to take it in a way where they can absolutely see it not for what it is. Does that make sense? I don't want people to look at it and say, oh, like this guy is struggling and this guy's like, I admire the fact that people respect and understand the boundaries of what I do and what I create means to me. But at the end of the day, I want people to just take it for however they want to take it. 나도 보고 싶어. And you know, sometimes that means, a lot of the times that also means that they will not understand to the full extent of what this could be. You know, like, I know there are a lot of artists that are coming out with like alter ego concepts, and there has always been that concept that has been there from the very beginning. Like, one that I could probably name the top of my head of is Eminem and Stan, right? But it's a concept that has been in this industry, in art, and it's technically something that any artist is, besides if they have a disorder or not, it just hits close to home, because whoever they are when they express this type of art is a foundation of, I guess it's a foundation of experiences and a front that they can be comfortable in to show and be able to express this type of, to this extremity. And it is like, if you think about it, every artist that goes on stage is an ego, is an alter ego, sorry, not an ego, but is an alter that is allowed to generate whatever it is on stage. And you know, we do it all the time, dancers and musicians and even painters. But with that being said, I like to generate a lot of my art, Mito especially, from my pain and from my experiences that I had to go through. That's why it's just real. That's why it's just so real. But that's not to say that it's not real for anybody else, right? It is as real as it gets. And you know, like, a lot of the things that I mask as art are the things that I am allowed to show, you know, and a lot of times where I'm not allowed to show are the ones that I have to mask, because that's just the way life is sometimes. You know, you do not want to you do not want to put everything out there, as you should. But you know, all in all, I do want to say I really appreciate my fans and I respect the shit out of you, because just because of how intuitive and how compassionate one another are. And you know, that really means a lot, because in today's day and age, so many things are becoming so desensitized, yes. And with that, I'm saying that there are so many bad shit that are happening in this world that are just being posted constantly. And there are just so many things that we are becoming absolutely just completely numb to, that I think growing up in this era now, and people that are just kind of coming to a progression of getting to a heightened sensitiveness of like just being so desensitized to like some of the craziest shit in the world. It sucks to see how much we've lost, how much we have come to, I guess, get out of touch of things. And I just want to bring a bit of realness to us. I do want to bring a sense of like, hey, you know, there are still things that can bring comfort, can bring some type of passion, and are real. And you know, that's not to say all the other shit that are happening in the world are real, but it's sometimes good to focus on the good rather than the bad. There's a lot of power in projection, right? We project. There's a lot of negativeness that is being projected into this world. The more we feed and the more we react to it, the more I feel like it wins. It's just the way it is. 희생은 사랑이 아니고 즐거움으로. 맞아요. And you know, with that being said, art as we know it is also becoming very polarized to the point where it has always had a shelf life. Like, this industry has always placed a product and it has always fed into the stimulus of people. That's what they think sells, and you know, this whole industry has to make money, and people, whoever is at the top notch of that, has to somehow make money as a greedy fuck. But it has really, you will always have a side of people that fight for what's genuine about art, what's genuine about expressions, and therefore what's so genuine about being human. And then you have those that feed into what makes a human into an animal. And what I mean by what makes a human into an animal is what makes their instincts just go completely bat wild, and what makes their behavior feed into really bad habitual things, addictiveness, you name it. So there are things that alter us as human beings. There are things that alter us instinctively, makes us less human, I think, and it makes us more depressed, more sad. We compare a lot, and the more we compare, it kills us, it kills our joy, and it absolutely, I think, ruins a lot of people's mental state. You are enough. You have always been enough. So there's no reason for you to ever think that you need something more than yourself, more than anything that's outside of yourself, to be happy or satisfied. It's just what the world feeds you sometimes that is absolutely crap. And you know, like, when I say this, it's so funny, it's ironic, and sometimes you might think it's contradicting, because I am in the industry and I am doing the very thing that the system asks you to of. But I always say it's the intention, right? It has to be the intention. There can't be just artists that sell out and, you know, fucking do all shit all, and there has to always be a side of artists that care enough. And through that, I'm sure the people that perceive it, like you, will know the difference. Like, people aren't that dumb. We aren't that dumb. Like, we know when somebody's trying to do this and someone's trying to do that, and someone's trying to understand that, and someone's trying to gauge that. We are all intuitive to a point where we get it, right? So that is essentially what I think. I'm getting a little too deep, but your comments have stopped. So I think I have to leave and I have to rejoin, guys, because my comments do that sometimes. It like freezes for some fucking reason. So let me just quit, and I'll rejoin, guys.